What if a rising African leader suddenly declared, "I don't need you in my country," directing his words at the world's most powerful nation? That's exactly what seems to be happening in Burkina Faso under President Ibrahim Traoré. From bold speeches to policies that echo anti-colonial resistance, the message is loud and clear: Africa is waking up, and this time, it's sending shockwaves around the world. Today on Continental Explorer, we dig deep into the unfolding geopolitical drama. Why is Ibrahim Traoré sending Americans back home? Is it anti-Westernism? Or a long-overdue demand for sovereignty and respect? Buckle up, because this isn't just a political spat. It's a battle for identity, justice, and the future of Africa itself. When Ibrahim Traoré came to power in 2022 through a military coup, few outside West Africa paid attention. But within months, he became a symbol, a young, charismatic leader defying the norms. Only in his mid-30s, Traoré immediately captured the attention of millions, not through violence, but through his fiery rhetoric, powerful oratory, and unapologetic pride in African independence. He criticized foreign military presence. He questioned the lopsided economic arrangements. And most of all, he made it clear, Burkina Faso belongs to Burkinabes, not to France, not to America, not to any foreign power. We are not your backyards, we are not your resources, and we are not your puppets. This wasn't just symbolism. His words were followed by action. In 2023, Burkina Faso shocked the world by ordering French troops to leave the country. The echoes of that decision rippled across West Africa. Soon, neighboring nations like Mali and Niger followed suit, forming a new regional alliance, one that prioritized local control and security. But while France was the obvious target, eyes quietly turned to the next giant, America. The United States has long maintained partnerships in West Africa, through aid, NGOs, military training programs, and intelligence sharing. But Traoré and his administration began to see these relationships as colonialism dressed in diplomacy. In early 2025, reports emerged that several American diplomatic staff, private contractors, and NGO workers were being quietly asked to leave. Unlike France, there was no press conference, no dramatic headlines, just a silent, strategic disengagement. Was this the beginning of a full ejection of American presence? Traoré isn't just expelling outsiders, he's constructing a new African narrative. In his speeches, he refers to the African Renaissance, a time when African nations stop relying on foreign aid, when they process their own minerals, and when their youth believe in their own future, on African soil. This vision has inspired millions, but it has also made others nervous. The United States has traditionally framed its African engagement as benevolent, health aid, democratic support, economic partnerships. But critics argue that beneath this facade lies influence, control, and exploitation. Traoré's administration is blunt: if your presence isn't mutual, it's unwanted. And that includes American institutions. So how has the United States responded? So far, Washington has maintained a cautious tone. No direct condemnation, no sanctions, yet. But behind closed doors, analysts warn of growing anxiety. Burkina Faso is strategically located in the Sahel, a region where American interests intersect with global security. And let's not forget, China and Russia are watching closely. With American influence shrinking in the region, new players are stepping in. Russia is increasing its military support. China is offering infrastructure deals. And suddenly, America finds itself squeezed out of a game it once dominated. Could Traoré's rejection be the tipping point? At its core, this is more than geopolitics. Ibrahim Traoré isn't just reacting, he's rebelling. He's rebelling against decades of economic dependency, against cultural imperialism, against being told what is best for his people by outsiders. And yes, part of that rebellion includes saying to Americans, "Thank you, but we'll handle this ourselves." Several Americans have reported being denied permits to operate NGOs. Others say their visas were not renewed. Foreign media outlets have faced tighter restrictions. It's not mass deportation. It's not hatred. It's policy, a clear, deliberate push for national sovereignty. What do Burkinabés think of all this? Surprisingly, or perhaps not, they largely support Traoré. In markets, cafes, and classrooms, you hear the same refrain, "For the first time, we feel free." Young people see him as a hero. Elders say they haven't felt this sense of pride since the days of Thomas Sankara. Even critics admit Traoré has done something rare, he's restored dignity. Of course, there are challenges, a struggling economy, regional insecurity, and the constant threat of foreign backlash. But the people seem willing to endure hardship, for the promise of sovereignty. If Traoré succeeds, the ripple effects will be massive. Other African leaders may follow suit, rejecting foreign entanglements, demanding new terms, forging South-South alliances. It could mean a radical shift in global power dynamics, and a blow to the West's influence on the continent. But it also raises questions. Will isolation hurt Burkina Faso in the long run? Can sovereignty survive in a globalized economy? And what happens if powerful nations push back? Traoré's stand may be brave, but it's also a gamble. So, is Ibrahim Traoré really sending Americans back? Yes, quietly, strategically, and purposefully. But more than that, he's sending a message to the world: Africa is not a playground. It's a continent of nations, and we decide who comes in and who doesn't. Whether you see it as bold or reckless, one thing is clear: Africa is writing its own story now. And the world is paying attention. Thanks for watching. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Drop a comment below. Do you think Ibrahim Traoré's approach will succeed? Or is he risking too much too fast? We'll see you in the next exploration.